What up, G Life? It's your boy MC Shadow back at you with another video. Make sure you guys like, make sure you guys comment, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Share if possible because it does help out my channel. You know what I mean? Don't forget to click on the subscribe, the like. It's free. It don't cost anything. You'll be helping my channel out a lot, get into the algorithm, and I will highly appreciate it. You know what I mean? You just tap on it where it says subscribe or like. Just tap on it. It's free. You'll be helping me out a lot. I would appreciate it. And don't forget to check out my playlist where all my videos and known folders makes the video you're looking for a lot easier. Where there's reactions to G-Files, all of that. There are known folders. Now, what I wanted to talk about was something that I was seeing that people were putting, referring to. And one of the topics is, what they're doing in El Salvador to, the guys from MS, with the whole, starving them to death and everything like that. And they praised the president of El Salvador, for handling, it so well. And not just him. I think people are barely realizing, some of these areas because it barely made headlines. But there's other places like the Philippines and etc. that have been doing this to gang members for a long time. You know what I mean? So the Salvadorians or the Salvadorian president is not the first to do something like this. They've been doing stuff like this to gang members in other countries, for a long time. I'm going to tell you something. Look at those countries, that they've been doing this for a long time. And has it worked? Has it helped the problem? Has it whatever? No. As a matter of fact, the problem got worse. I never have to make up anything. Go look it up yourself, the research. Here's one thing I'm going to say, about that. When people say they should just kill gang members, they should just eradicate them, the lines become blurred. It's never good to talk without thinking. You know what I mean? Because taking the life of somebody, regardless if you're squeezing the trigger or your vote, for execution, whatever, taking the life of an individual takes a toll on the mental of any human being. You get what I'm saying? Despite it, people think that they're so cold-hearted out there and it'll be like nothing. No, it's going to take psychological effects on you. You know what I mean? Unless, your brain suffers that part. Your brain, is born with a defect, where that part of your brain, that, with the emotions, the dopamine and all that is, you lack that, you know what I mean? Kind of like a psychopath and stuff like that, where you will feel no type of emotion, remorse and etc. Because even, these individuals that have been, locked up for all kinds of murder, you see in their later years, they feel remorse, they feel like, a lot of guilt, they feel a lot of stuff, you know what I mean? Because it does start to take a toll. It's like they suffer some part of like post-traumatic stress where they, suppress the memory, but you can only suppress the memory for so long until it starts to just escape, you know what I mean? And it creates all kinds of depression problems and etc. There's research, of this, you know what I mean? The research that they have done to, killers, etc., you know what I mean? Documenting all of that. And we're talking about, hundreds and hundreds of murderers throughout all over the world, because they exchange, data and compare notes and, stuff like that. So when people say that they should just, eradicate them and kill them, the lines become blurred, right? So now what's justified, okay, of why you should kill this individual? Because then you're not leaving no room for change, no room for because people do make mistakes in this world, you know what I'm saying? And people have to keep it in mind. A lot of these, when we're talking about gang members, we're talking about young kids, teenagers, young youths. You know what I mean? 13, 14, 15, 16. When these people are out there running mucks and causing havoc and chaos and everything like that, when people are thinking about gang members, they're thinking like that there's these 20-year-old, 26 years old, or 30-something years old individuals out there, when in reality, it's a lot of young teenagers, bro. It's 16, 15, 17-year-olds that are out there really, running mucks and really doing stuff, you know what I mean? They're really out there, causing havoc. We're talking about kids here. So you feel it's perfectly fine to just start exterminating and eradicating all these young kids? You know what I mean? Don't kids make mistakes? You know what I mean? Aren't, if you don't properly parent kids, don't they, turn to the street? Don't they become misguided? So instead of trying to help these youths, you rather just eradicate them. People just always talk without getting to the problem, getting to know the problem, the situations, and all of that. You know what I mean? They just like talking out of their asses. You know what I mean? Get to understand some shit first before you want to talk reckless. You know, about these individuals, because I should know a lot of they are just young kids, the ones that are out there, running havoc, making havoc. By the time you hit your mid-20s, you know what I mean, that part of the brain already develops where you start to feel remorse and all kinds of stuff where you second question stuff, and you become mature, you become of age. You know what I mean? That's why the legal age is 21 to drink. You know what I mean? Because that's when people feel that that's when the part of the brain already developed where you're able to know what you're doing, to make rational decisions and etc. That's why that's the age. The drinking age is that age, because anything before that, that part of the brain hasn't developed. So you're gonna be making a lot of dumb choices, a lot of dumb, a lot of stupid shit. You know what I mean? That's the reason why they don't allow that. You know what I mean? And there's research, to back all of this up. So even they understand that people do a lot of stupid shit in their early, in their early teens to their later teens, early 20s. You know what I mean? Even they can't deny that. So imagine people do stupid shit when they have parents. You know what I mean? Imagine when they have no parents and they're just misguided. They have nobody to show them the rope. What do you think is gonna happen? You know what I mean? They're not gonna do stupid shit. They're gonna do like outlandishly stupid shit, outrageous type of shit. You know what I mean? The research, you could go ahead and try to argue with the science. You know what I mean? Neglection's a real shit. You know what I mean? Verbally abusing your child. Yeah. The saying, sticks and stones can break my bones, but words could literally kill you, bro. You know what I mean? If you verbally insult your child, you're stupid. You can't do shit right. You're useless. Why can't you be like the rest of these kids? I wish you were never born, etc. Stuff like that. You can't do shit right. You could mentally, scar somebody for life. You know what I mean? You could lead that child to committing suicide. So, sticks and stones may break your bones, but those words could kill you. Everything people do, whether it's murder, whether, fights, everything like that. The reason why they do it is because they don't want to be verbally assaulted by their peers, by everyone around them. What are they going to think of me? What are they going to say about me? How am I going to look? Blah, 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 blah. They care so much about, everybody else's verbal opinions and stuff like that, that they commit the most dumbest shit, from murder to fighting over stupid shit, to all this and that, just because they don't want to be verbally assaulted. So people do, words, you know what I mean? People do care a lot for a lot of people's words, because a lot of the shit that people do is because they don't want to be verbally assaulted. People have to get to understand these kids, these youths, these problems. You know what I mean? Because the only thing that's going to happen, let me tell you something, and this is in history and everything like that too. It's all facts. Back in the medieval times, right? Back in the medieval times, when people would break the law, they would cut their genitalias off. They would feed them to the lions. They would hang them by their tongue. They used to do the most heinous shit that you could possibly think of to people that would break the law. And guess what happened? People were still breaking the law and still committing these crimes. You could put these laws and whatever, it's not going to change a goddamn thing. And if anything, things are going to get worse. Why would they get worse? Because now, if you're going to just eradicate these people, then now whenever they do commit a crime, whatever, and the cops are on them, and now they know that this is going to be their fate, they'll just go balls out in that moment. So now you're putting your police officers in jeopardy, and civilians, because now these people will go to the extreme, not to get caught, and it's like, I might as well die here than die by their hands. You know what I mean? So they'll take out as many people out, as possible with them, or try to take out as many police officers, along with themselves, because they're gonna die anyway. So what the hell? You know what I mean? So now you're putting a lot of people in jeopardy. a lot of your police officers, because now these people are going to go to the extreme of trying to get away by any means, and literally by any means, taking hostages, all kinds of shit. You're going to create a chaotic environment, just like these other countries where they've been doing this shit. That's why their countries are in turmoil. You know what I mean? Because instead of trying to rehabilitate somebody, instead of trying to understand, you know what I mean, that they're psychologically, you know, have psychological defects or scarred and stuff like that, and instead of trying to help these mental issues, you just rather kill them instead of dealing with them, because that's a whole lot easier. That's for lazy people, right? Why get to the bottom of it? Why have to understand that? Fuck that. Let's just kill them and get over it with. You know what I mean? So then what if somebody gets wrongfully accused for being a gang member? What if somebody gets set up? You know what I mean? Because you just want that person taken out, so you start inventing that he's a gang member, or lies and stuff like that. Then who's to say what's real and what's not? Who's actually one and who's not? You know, was justified for murder. Now we're gonna start killing gang members. What's next? You know what I mean? So it becomes a lot easier and easier to justify and get rid of these people. You know what I mean? Because power like that does corrupt. You know what I mean? Playing God. You know, you being able to take the life of another individual. You know what I mean? You could see where people could use that and spin it to push their agenda. You know what I mean? Because now it's so easy to justify it. One of the great things that like the Batman comic books teaches is that Batman says, they ask Batman, like, you know, you keep locking these guys up but they keep getting out and stuff like that, why don't you just, you know, like you know, kill them, whatever. And he says, no, because then I'll become no better than them. Then I'll become just like them. With the first person that I kill, then it's gonna be a lot easier to, you know, kill the second, third, fourth, and a lot easier to justify these actions. That's the reason why Batman doesn't kill. And that's beautiful, you know, a beautiful piece of psychology that it teaches right there. So when these individuals want to be thinking that they're good, or think that they have the answer by establishing these kind of things, you know, cruelty to individuals, thinking that, you know, that's one of society's main problems. They think that by being cruel, that's how problems get fixed, by taking action, by violence. Violence never fixes no problems, bro. You know what I mean? I thought people knew that. I thought people knew that violence is not the answer, and that's not how you fix problems, because problems only get worse like that. Yet, that's the first option that people want to throw on the table. That's the first thing people want. Yeah, huh? Because you're no better than these individuals. You want to see them die. You want to see them suffer. You know, that's another human being nonetheless. And look at you, how you're wishing death upon somebody, how you're just, you know, lusting for it. Just like these individuals, you're no better. Yet you think you are for some odd reason. But I'm just saying, humble yourself. You know what I mean? There's different ways of fixing these problems. Violence is never the answer. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, Shadow, we out.